this league has been a leader when it comes to professional leagues in terms of social justice initiatives and an emphasis on equity and inclusion and giving players a platform. But recently, the incident that took place here in Chicago with a ref, the league had no comment. And so I wonder if you're concerned with this sending mixed messages to fans and why the league chose not to issue a statement or provide more transparency on the situation.
No, again, I'm fairly new in the league. It's my understanding, and that's why we did what we did. We did a thorough investigation. I personally talked to James, others did as well, walked him through what our findings were. And again, we don't publicly comment on officiating discipline. So I think, again, it's important that we move forward. It's important that, we look at what happened here, make sure it doesn't happen in other situations, and that's what we've done. So again, it's just not something usually, we deal with the referees differently than, we would players or the teams.
Got you. Thank you.
Commissioner Englebert, I appreciate your time. Kind of following up with that, in this society, the way things are happening today, I'm curious as to, since I know that's not something that you typically do, would this not be an opportunity to kind of change that, to give more transparency to the fans and to the public with regards to, the referee used a demeaning and derogatory term against one of your general managers and head coaches, but it appeared as though the front office was silent about it.
Yeah, again, I mean, I have a long history in business and a long history of when and how you should support, whether it's a player, whether it's a coach, whether it's someone in the front or back office, anybody. Like a long history of diversity, equity, and inclusion and treating people right. And again, all I could say, Eric, is I appreciate the push here, but this is kind of standard practice, generally not to comment on officiating discipline. We did a thorough investigation. We talked to all the parties involved. Everyone was ready to move on after we completed the investigation. And I think everyone was satisfied that, and even look at, Coach Wade's comments. I mean, those stand for themselves. I think yesterday that I read in your press, around what Coach Wade said. I think we're all ready to move on. I think it is important to make sure, though, that we've had several incidents, and it's not just in sports, but in society, as you say, Eric, and there's no time like now where we have a very divisive society over a numerous amount of issues. And that's why I'm so proud of the WNBA players for stepping up, not just last year into this year, not just with the Social Justice Council, but they've always been doing it. And, I've been so impressed with the stances they've taken. But again, in my long history of dealing with issues like this, if you use your voice on everything, you lose your voice. And we pick the things that are important to the players, to the coaches, to the teams, and that's when we speak out. And that's why the Social Justice Council was launched last year as part of the WNBA Justice Movement, and we'll continue to work on health and equity, on LGBTQ+, focused on trans rights this year, focused on mental health within that health and equity, and focused lastly on civic and engagement voting rights. So that's the work that we chose, that the players chose, and that the coaches, the front and back offices, the owners, and the league are supporting. I call it player-led and league facilitated. And I think that's an important cultural moment for the league and the players working together.
Aside from that, I do want to ask about expansion, because there has been a lot of talk, especially the last season and into this season, about expansion. So what is the league doing to acquire new cities to where we can put more WNBA teams in and really 25 years grow this, so that in another 25 years, the evolution could say it started here?
Yeah, absolutely, Eric. Great question. And it's something I commented on in the lead into draft, the lead into the tip of the season, that if it weren't for the pandemic, we probably would be looking at, expansion much more aggressively right now. But as you can imagine, being out of the sports landscape in our arenas for a year, kind of coming back, seeing fans coming back slowly but surely, seeing protocols released as we get fully vaccinated for us, team and league. So we're very, very excited, to announce that we'll be essentially 99% vaccinated in our player population. So as all of that lifts, as we get back to the new normal, We will at this time next year definitely start talking expansion. We're doing some kind of behind the scenes evaluation of where women's basketball, professional basketball would succeed and in what markets where we're not today. But I agree with you. I mean, when I joined the league, I said, okay, 12 cities. And if you really want to have an impact nationally and then globally, we also have to look outside and look how to grow our fan base outside the United States as well. We're doing a really nice job with our 33 million fans here in the US, but we have to grow the game globally and we have to find ways to do that. So Eric, this is a multi-dimensional transformation that of which expansion is one element of, but we have a lot of other things we're trying to invest in. And I think the depth and breadth of this league is so great right now, which is why you saw, players that you otherwise think should be playing in the WNBA wave this year. So we're definitely thinking about it. We've got to continue to stick with our strategy, player first, stakeholder success and fan experience. And that's where we're investing. And you'll definitely be hearing more in expansion next year at this time.
I appreciate your time. Thank you.